What's up, y'all? So today I'm going to propagate, 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 into the round, So, what are we going to talk about today? Well, today, as always, we're just going to talk. But for starters, you alright? How you feeling? You're not too, oh God, war. Oh God, they're going to use bombs. Oh, the nukes. Oh, dear Jesus. I didn't vote for that. It's okay, alright? Everything is written. Everything is written. So let's get into it, shall we? Well, for starters, let's start with everything is written. It's written about for us to be on a specific path, for us to follow a specific narration. Therein lies the biggest conundrum that we face, because most people don't want to get to that golden age without the hardships. They want to just jump straight to the golden age when you can't do that. You have to have the hardships to realize where you came from so that you can know that there is something better, and also know that there's something worse. And instead of living that something worse continuously, you opt into that something better. That makes sense? You follow me? Okay. Well, if you don't, it's okay. Just go with it. Well, this world is changed. We're not going back to where we once were. We just can never go back at this moment. Eventually, with this cyclical path we're on, we will end right back up in this spot. We'll live through the 90s and all that stuff. We'll live through that again because it's cyclical. But for the time being, we're moving forward. You see how that works? Even though you're moving, let me use the hands, even though you're moving forward, it's still a circle. Think dimensionally. Oh. So yeah. Now my last video, I was a little bit darker than what I'm normally engaged in being. But I had to put a message out there to the powers that be. We are going to follow our roles, which they are doing now. We are going to follow the script, the narration, and we will end up ultimately in Megiddo. Why do you keep saying that? Because Megiddo is where we're going to create a Philosopher's Stone in order to continue what? I don't know what. Continue our lives. The Philosopher's Stone will help us amplify manifestation to manifest a new world, so to speak.
A fallen city, or an entire tribe lost to genocide. Atrocities of war so horrific, hundreds of thousands of misplaced souls. In the hands of a skilled alchemist, these lost souls are forged into the Philosopher's Stone.
Can't you just do it by manifesting on your own? Some people believe they can. They'll go to a mountain and think they can manifest on their own, and because the mountain is made of specific minerals. You can go to different sites all you want. Unless you know the sites that are needed to create a Philosopher's Stone, these are moot points. You're creating manifestations for your own right, and those manifestations are only going to extend to your personal view, your personal propagations. Well, if my personal propagation propagates me to be in the golden age already, touche. Then you live in that golden age while the rest of the world burns. But if I see the rest of the world not burning, do you see the rest of the world not burning while you're manifesting? I don't think you do. Because the rest of the world is continuing forward. And look at it. Please, literally look at it. So, it falls on those who know how to create philosopher's stones, those who know what alchemy truly is. This is a give and take, equivalent exchange. You're going to a place and you're not giving anything. We're giving thanks. Oh, okay. We're worshiping. Oh, okay. We'll burn some incense and we'll all chant in unison, and it's going to make everything better. Okay, sure, we'll go with that. You keep that up. Keep that up. So, I'm not here to beat you down or say you're wrong. I'm just here to say that you need to rethink the way this realm actually operates. You need to rethink about alchemy. Some people are extremely brilliant and they speak as if they know, and I get that. I do the same. But the differences between certain individuals and others, those who think they know and those who actually know, is that I know where this world is going because I helped create the storyline. I was there from the very beginning, and even though that is fantastical for some to fathom, and it's not this vessel, I'm assure you, this vessel was not there from the very beginning. It's a specific line, and to make it simplistic, it's a specific line of code, and that line of code is kind of like not an agent, but an architect. You know, you have the architect. If you watch The Matrix, the architect, and then you had the motherly figure with the oracle, those two.
Well, now, ain't this a surprise?
You played a very dangerous game. How long do you think this peace is going to last?
As long as it can. What about the ones that want out?
Obviously, they will be freed.
I have your word.
What do you think I am? Human?
It's like that. They operate inside the matrix while operating outside of it, so to speak, kind of thing. Yes, you see the physical vessel, but these physical vessels, those are just forms to us. If we went outside of this little matrix, what is there but a crystalline entity surrounded, 5 of them, surrounding one massive one? Containing its energy, using its energy, really, to create these little worlds. While maintaining a distance from one another to keep from coalescing as one once again. We get close, you'll feel the friction and the energy in the air, but we try to keep a distance. Now that may go way over folks' head, but you know, it's okay. Don't worry, I'm gonna get back on track. Let me not go over your heads. You saw those heads? So yeah. You ride that bike. They're really riding that bike. My God. Oh my. So, how are we moving forward? How are you moving forward? Like, are you going back to scripture? Are you going and reading other manuscripts, other documents? Are you doing your own research, your own due diligence, and learning as much as possible? What are you exactly doing to make your lives better? And not just your lives, but the folks who are in your inner circle. How are you making their lives better? Are you still seeing yourself egotistically as just a vessel doing research? Are you seeing yourself as more than a vessel? You're a part of the storyline. There's a lot of ways to see, or there's a lot of ways to participate in this matrix. Whether you be a system administrator, an NPC, a main character, there's a lot of roles out there. So which role do you fall within? You got to choose that role. You got to live it. You got to know it, breathe it. The one thing about the Führer knew his role very well. He knew what he was supposed to do. He lived, breathed, and ate that role. So for those out there, and I have to say this because I cannot stand hearing it, for those out there, he escaped to Argentina. He escaped to South America. You know that. Operation Odessa. The Führer is tot.
Reichsleiter, es ist passiert. Ich melde, der Führer ist tot.
He's dead. He killed himself. That man lived in his ego, in his pride, resonating at a high frequency, but also resonating at a low one. Once he got to that low frequency, it was downhill from there. So we're really just living at our roles. Now, for the people in the pyramid, they have specific roles they have to play out. They know about Megiddo, they know about us, they know about the ships, they know about the star, they know about the impending disasters. They know all of it. They ran scenario after scenario programs through their AI, just before AI, think tanks. They did all of this already. They're prepared. Folks may think they're not prepared, but they're prepared. And even with being prepared, you're not always fully prepared. You see what I did there? All those prepares? No, you just use prepare. Yeah, exactly. Okay, yeah, I just used it a lot. But I say that to say that they listen to a lot of these messages, not just from me, but from others. They listen to what their think tanks and AI programs have stated to them about what's taking place. So they will continue to follow their role because there's no other way for them. There's no way out. They chose what they chose, and they will follow it because they're commanded to. Now, I listen to the Don, and people don't like him. I get it. I understand. I don't have any problems with him. But he's a racist. Okay. Are you sure? Yes. He's an elitist snob. He's rich. He's always been rich. His family's been rich. Okay. Like, I sit here and look at Americans and I'm just like, are you really listening to yourself? Are you listening to yourself? You want to talk about this man here, and I'm not sticking up for you, okay? So keep that in mind. I just know whose banner you fly.
And I want to just thank everybody, and in particular, God. I want to just say we love you, God, and we love our great military. Protect them. God bless the Middle East. God bless Israel, and God bless America. Thank you very much. Thank you.
And I must say, but with that being said, as Americans, look at your history, okay? You can scrutinize each and every president, but you're wanting to scrutinize this one because he's in charge right now. You're so simplistic. It's only one person when it's a whole cast of actors. You have the executive, legislative, judicial branches. They're all actors at the end of the day. I mean, honestly, you have to go with it.
My fellow Americans,
it is time to strike fear into the hearts of citizens.
what your country can do
To avert this crisis.
And the answer is nothing whatsoever.
Our military strength
Is
in this case
useless.
the great confident roar of the American progress
And growth has come to an end.
connectivity, electrical power,
Critical
utilities,
their
fate
now rests in our
hands. We will not falter, and we will not fail. Thank you.
and a
Happy Independence Day to everyone.
You don't realize that the last few presidents have not been the greatest. Biden was never like this. Biden was non-existent. Obama, he was... Look at those policies. Look at those policies. Just a good orator. Very good at speaking. But follow-through game, I can give you one thing. He was killing everybody back then. He sure did know how to kill. Still does. Neither here nor there. My apologies. Let me not push speculation into the air. Backtrack. Apologies, Barry. Bush? Let's not even get on the abysmal nature of Bush. Also a good speaker, actually. Very good speaker.
There's an old saying in Tennessee, I know it's in Texas, probably in Tennessee, that says, fool me once, shame on you. If fool me, we can't get fooled again.
They both were good speakers. Barry and Bush. Very good speakers. But, not a good administration. Clinton, what did he actually do? Let's be realistic. What did he actually do? He was spraying the table, so to speak. Good job with that one. How many? How many was it? Does she know? Who's she? Your wife. How many did she? Was she a part of it? I think she probably was. So I didn't dive deep into that. So I'm not going to. I could speak about her, but I'm not going to. I'm gonna leave it at that. First Bush, HW. Oh my God. Where do we start with that one? I just don't know where to start with that one. That's Reagan. Oh God. My chest hurts.
Our government has a firm policy not to capitulate to terrorist demands, that no concessions policy remains in force. In spite of the wildly speculative and false stories about arms for hostages and alleged ransom payments,
We did not, repeat, did not trade weapons or anything else for hostages. Nor will we.
Just like Oliver North introduced us to cocaine in the 80s when them bricks came on military plane.
A few months ago, I told the American people I did not trade arms for hostages. My heart and my best intentions still tell me that's true, but the facts and the evidence tell me it is not.
My chest is hurting right now just thinking about that. Oh, God. Oh, Jesus. Carter? What? Mismanagement can be a hell of a thing. I mean, but again, all these people are actors. We're getting too deep into it. We're getting too deep. Actors. You're just talking about the Western areas. Why can't you talk about other countries? You don't want me to do that? Yes, we do. Stop hating on Americans. I'm leaking today, as you can tell. I'm leaking throughout this whole video. Why you keep doing it in the morning? It's fresh. Look, you get me at my zenith. Whoa. But yeah. You want me to talk about other countries? The bloodlines of Europe. You want me to talk about them? The Rothschilds. You don't want me to talk about them. And let's not even get on the African leadership. And when I say African leadership, we have to realize, especially here in the West, that Africa is a continent, but there are countries within that continent. So you can use umbrella terms like African, but you really have to go by the actual country. So be understanding and overstanding of that. The South Americans, there's only a few places in South America I actually like, and it's very few. It's like 2 countries in particular. Which ones? I'm not going to say. I don't want to show favoritism. Then you have Australia. The Russians. Now that's a sordid history, I must say. It's very sordid, actually. I mean, we could talk about the Bolsheviks. We could talk about the Tsar, the actual dynasty and where the Romanovs actually come from. China. Y'all are members of the organizations. Y'all been members of the organization since the inception of communism. I mean, honestly, even before that, but oh my God. Members of the organization so deeply rooted that people do not realize that they are members. Seriously. You've got to be real with this one. You can't make this stuff up. Interconnected, right? All of us. Just interconnected. So, who else do we got? Who else do you want to talk about? Because the list goes on. I mean, I could go down the list specifically, but I choose not to do that because that's my right. I don't have to explain anything to you. I can gloss over it very vaguely and expect you to actually look deeply into it so that you can gain that knowledge on your own. It's not my place, or that's not a good word. That's not what I mean.
It's the wrong word right now. That's not what I mean.
I just don't care to give you that information. As a member of the organization, the head of the pyramid myself, why would I even sully my hands with giving you a detailed explanation on what is, when you could do that research on your own? You got so many people out there who do this research and bring out that information. You go to them. If you ask me a question specifically, I'll answer you. But to just be on this little app propagating throughout the lights, I'm just gonna give you gloss over stuff. That's what you only gonna get. That's all you gonna get from me. See? So, with that, I hope I'm not making this too convoluted, because I jump around. I don't write a script for this. It just comes to mind, and I talk to you, nice people, mean people, good people, evil people, wherever you fall in the spectrum. Because I choose to. Now, time is limited. The star is gearing up to make some, I'm gonna speak X-rated just for a brief moment. The sun is gearing up to give us some back shots, and it's not gonna be fun. Oof. But you are still protected. North, south, east, west. You've been protected for a little while now. We strategically place certain components in each corner to protect you from the winds.
4 angels stand at the 4 corners of the earth, holding back the 4 winds to prevent any wind from blowing on the land, sea, or trees. Another angel ascends from the east, holding the seal of the living God, and calls out to the 4 angels who had been given power to harm the earth. The angel instructs them not to harm the earth, sea, or trees until the servants of God have been sealed on their foreheads.
So, that might even go over some of your heads, but it's true. So what part of the Bible are we in? I'm not going to fear you, okay? This is the end times, but I'm not going to fear you about this. You didn't think it was going to happen within your lifetime, but when certain individuals were chosen for specific roles, it began. It's too late to go back now. This is going to happen in your lifetime. Just believe that. I'm 87. It's not going to happen in mine. Well, if you live just a little while longer, you're not going to be able to pass, because you're supposed to witness what is bound to take place. So you might want to try to opt out now. And as for the young people who want to opt into self-deletion, you don't want to do that. You're going to go back into the live stream and end up right back where you started. You're going to not enjoy life at all. It's going to be very bad for you, and I don't want you to go through that. That's just difficult. You think this is difficult, what you're going through now? It's going to be 10 times as difficult, so please, do us all a favor. Okay? I'm just leaking today. God, I cannot stand leaking. Next time, okay? And I do mean next time. I'm going to make sure I'm well awake, well rested, so that I'm not leaking all over the place. Guys, stop doing this thing so early. I told you. Look, and see, I'm being a character right now. Those little side voices that I do, it's supposed to be a representation of what individuals are saying who are not in my presence. Now, there are some that are more realistic, and you hear that. There are some that are more realistic than others because I'm picking up their frequency. But some I just make up off cuff. So you just have to pick and choose which one is real, which one is not, and just go with it, okay? So, with that being said, I believe that this message is getting a little bit longer than I would like. So I'm going to leave you with this. Don't allow yourselves to be sidestepped. And what I mean by sidestepped is don't allow yourself to let other people tell you that you're not a main in this role. No matter what you've done, no matter what you've been given, you choose the role that you were destined to be in. Whether that be a system administrator, whether that be president, a blade of grass, you choose. Well, you can't be a blade of grass because you don't choose that, actually, unless you're an ascended master, and that's very rare that anyone in this time period or even before that. There's only a certain amount of people, a very select few, who can get to that point. And I'm not saying that to say that this is an exclusive thing. It's just very difficult. So I'm going to backtrack on blade of grass. And I'm going to just say NPC, whether you play the NPC role, whether you play a main, what have you, you choose. So don't let anyone sidestep you. Don't let anyone tell you you're not. You just told us that if we go to specific places that we can't manifest this world to be better. I don't think I actually said that. I said that you will manifest it for yourselves individually, but you're not going to amend the narration, the main story. You can't do it. You just don't have that because you don't have a philosopher's stone. Okay? Let me say it 3 times so that people get it. Philosopher's stone, philosopher's stone. You know, if you use your power of knowing, you can say it, and it will be, you know? Only for you, okay? Not for the main narration. Not unless you have a philosopher's stone. You said it more times than 3 or 4 now. Does that make it better? Now you got to decide whether or not that was a real voice or whether or not I was just going and making that up. I'll leave that up to you. Now, as always, with a smile on and positive vibes your way. For the light workers, keep doing your thing. For the chosen, stay on mission. And for those who know, let's get it.